All right, so a little late at night, but I want to show you what came in today. It was almost like Christmas coming into the house. I had several boxes and packages waiting for me. So a couple things with the car that we're waiting on. We've got, I'll start off here. So our dome lights are not working. So hopefully we've traced this down to these switches. So we've got those. Those came in today. I'll leave a link where to find those. Those came off eBay. This is, let's see if I can get you the name for it. It was pretty funny. This was harder to find than Bigfoot. Let's see. It is a engine crankcase breather element. So this thing is on top of the intake or in the, like the air cleaner itself. Ours is just broke or worn out. So it's this little doodad right here. I'll get that put on here in a minute. That should be really simple. But I'll also leave a link for that in case yours is broke. Got our water pump. That came in today. And then probably one of the coolest things and one of the most exciting things that came in today was this. Boom, check that out. 1982 Tennessee plate. So in the state of Tennessee, if you run antique plates, you can run a vintage tag for the corresponding year to your car. So this one being a 1982, I was able to find a almost mint 1982 Tennessee license plate, which is pretty cool. So check your states. Some states allow it, some don't. But we run a 1952 Tennessee plate on the 3100. You might have seen that in some of the other videos. I love that plate a lot. This one's, to be honest, is kind of boring, but hey, it's vintage, it works, and it's a lot cooler than those just generic antique plates that everybody else runs. So what we're going to do today, we're going to go ahead and replace this little breather assembly that goes on the air cleaner. That should take every bit of I don't know, 5 minutes at the most. And then we'll get in here and replace these dome light switches. I really hope that this fixes it. I'll kind of show you what we got going on with the car. All right, so right here is one of the dome light switches that we'll be replacing today. Of course, we're working on the passenger side right now. And as you can see, we don't have any dome lights on. We don't have the courtesy lights on down here. We don't have the overhead dome light. All right, so these are super easy to replace. 7/16 is the size. Slide it on here. Get on there here in a second. And just kind of take them loose. And that should just slide right out. And you'll see with this one, this connection right here has kind of like a traditional male over female connection. And what we'll do is go ahead and get this unhooked. I've got an old cleaning brush from an old rifle kit that I'll just clean out that hole since these are self-grounding and just make sure that everything's good there. And we'll slide in the passenger side. And once we get this tightened up, we'll jump over to the driver's side, kind of anxiously waiting to put the fuse in, and we'll see if this fixes it. All right, so I went ahead and put this in the little grinding wheel and cleaned it up. That way, if this is used for any type of grounding, we want to make sure we get all that corrosion off, as well as I've cleaned the hole. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this on there just like this. We'll connect the two wires, slide it in, tighten it up, and move over to the driver's side. So the steps for the driver's side are the exact same way, 7/16. And when I pull this out, I'll show you the difference in the two so you can see what the driver's side connections look like versus the passenger side. All right, so I've got them both out. So driver's side, which one is the one I just took out, and you can see the passenger side. So two completely different connections, and pretty easy to tell which one you have. So once again, this one has this real thick washer on it, so I'm going to go ahead and clean it up like I did the last one. I'll go ahead and put in the new one, and then we'll move on to putting in the fuse, and I'll show you where the fuse panel is. And hopefully when we put the fuse back in, these dome lights will work. All right, so the new driver switch is in, and we're going to go ahead and replace the fuse. So if you've ever wanted to know where the fuse panel is on these C3s, it's up here, up underneath the dash on the driver's side. And you kind of got to be pretty limber to get up in here, but right there, let me see if I can slide that wire down. You can see I have a missing fuse. And the paint's all worn off where I think somebody's been in and out trying to take this fuse out for quite a while. but we're going to go ahead and slide it in, and hopefully our dome lights work. All right, here we go. Oh, look at that. We are cooking with peanut oil now. We got dome lights, we got courtesy lights. Everything's working. So with the fuse back in, my power locks work again, which is pretty freaking awesome. And like I said, I think the power antenna was controlled by that, and maybe one other thing. I'm not 100% sure. But we are working now, and with the timer, these should go off here in a few seconds. But one thing's done. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next, and that is that little breather valve that I bought that goes in the air cleaner. I'll go ahead and pop the hood. All right, so the piece we're replacing up here, this little breather valve, is right here. And you can see that ours has come completely apart. So pretty easy to replace. I'm gonna take out these 2 bolts, or these 2 nuts up top, and slide the air cleaner off, and we'll pop in the new one. So on the back side, there's a little clip. Slides off pretty easy. Pop out the old one, which ours is disintegrated. And I'll go ahead and slide the new one in, slide the clip back on, and reinstall it, and we'll be good to go. All right, well, that will finish it up for tonight. I've got, of course, the water pump came in, so just trying to make sure I understand all the steps and everything that's involved with replacing the water pump on this old Crossfire. Looks like you got to move some air pumps or loosen and slide stuff around. So once I figure that out, then we'll go ahead and get that in. We'll videotape that and hopefully get Bill to help out. He's in bed because it's a little late tonight. But I ordered a new radio. The one that was in here was an old cassette, and it's junk. I love the Corvette that was made with a label maker to make it look like it's real. It's pretty legit right there, but this thing's junk, so this is coming out. We got new speakers. Those will be in next week, so we'll videotape that as we do audio and upgrade that system, but it's coming along. It's looking good. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Just make sure you subscribe, hit that notification tab so that way you're notified when we get new stuff. And a lot more to come. Man, and look at those working dome lights. That is legit right there. It's the little things that make me happy. So thanks again for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time.